Well, it's no longer news that the residence of the Yoruba rights activist Sunday Igboho, also known as Sunday Igboho, was besieged. Well, now we know that the attack was carried out by the Department of State Services, DSS. The secret police, who has declared Igboho wanted, stated that Igboho escaped when it raided his Ibadan residence because there was no gun duel between, or because there was actually a gun duel between the DSS operatives and Igboho's guards, which lasted for an hour. They say weapons of different types were found in Igboho's residence. And lamenting the killings in the country, the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, Gani Adams, said the call for liberation of Yoruba race is a legitimate one and it's the right of the people, saying events in the southwest showed that the time is up for Yoruba to exit the country. Well, joining me to discuss this is Nelson Ekujimi, Femi Lawson, both of them who are political analysts, and Dickson Osajie, who is a security operative and expert. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. I'm going to start with you, Dickson, because this is obviously a security issue. Judging from the videos and the pictures that we have seen from the operation carried out by the DSS, now that we know, we've seen guns allegedly belonging to him, charms, and all kinds of things. And in fact, they called one spiritual bulletproof. What do you make of all of this, from a security perspective?
Oh, yes, we all got to know about the incident that transpired at Sunday Igboho's residence. We must understand that Nigeria is faced with multi-dimensional security threats from the east, west, south, and north. And our government must also understand that in contending with the state of insecurity, they must be diplomatic in order not to hit the public or not to hit the populace. Now, Sunday Igboho's home assault, I think the government knows the reason best. But for me, from looking at the security perspective, there are other mechanisms the government should have adopted in arresting the Sunday Igboho if perhaps he has committed any crime against the state. But first of all, we need to look at the root cause analysis, that is the causational factors, what led to the agitation of Sunday Igboho, because sometimes we always want to attack incidents from the surface. We don't look at the root cause analysis, what led to his agitations. Oh yes, a few months back, he went to a community and told the Fulani to vacate that community because he perceived with evidence that the people, the Fulani headers, are killing his people, and he's not going to take that. That was how we arrived at this stage as of now, Mary Ann. Now, what I would advise the government is that they should tread with caution because we must look at our security strength, the police strength, the DSS strength, the army strength, and looking at the population of the country. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested some few weeks back. That is another agitation from the southeast. Now, Sunday Igboho. I will advise that the government must be diplomatic and addressing this issue. It's not all about using force or application of force.
Why should the government tread with caution if the government feels threatened by these people? If the government feels that these people seem to be fueling some form of insecurity, why should they be diplomatic about it, especially if they're in the middle of an insecurity situation, knowing that we are faced with all forms of threats from the north, south, east, and west? I'm just asking, why should they tread with caution?
The reason why I ask them to tread with caution is that and I understand that operation led to the death of about two people at Sunday Igboho's residence, and at Atlanta, there was a gun battle. Now, when you want to arrest someone with a threat to national security, you need to have applied a buy-box operation or a sting operation, but not an operation that will lead to the lives of other people or maybe cause a panic in the community, because security is defeated when the community or the environment live in a state of fear. What I'm trying to say in essence is that the government has different mechanisms to apply to arrest Sunday Igboho. The operation of the DSS, well, best known to them, at that midnight, I don't think is necessary because there are methods to apply in containing or arresting a criminal.
Let's talk about quickly before I go to the other gentleman. Let's talk about the issue of non-state actors like Igboho, like Nnamdi Kanu, and Sheikh Gumi. We're seeing a rise of these people amidst the situation that we have been dealing with as a country. And many pundits, security analysts and political pundits have said that it's because of the lapses that have been created by our politicians and our leaders. That is why we're seeing these people creep up, because before now, these people probably didn't have a voice. How do we, because yes, this, as much as this is a security situation, this is also, there's some politics to it. Now, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò has said that this move that the government has taken is trying to shut down, in fact, he said that the government is trying to suppress the growing agitation for a Yoruba nation. And so they seem to think that this is an affront of sorts by the federal government. So how do you deal with this kind of issue? How do you quiet these voices and somewhat do not cause an uproar by certain communities?
Oh, thank you very much, Miriam. That is an intelligent question. Once we must understand that we don't apply force. It's not everything we apply force. The use of force must always be the last resort in contending with any incident. Looking at your questions, why have these people gained more momentum all over the world and Nigeria, is that some time ago I made a complaint about the silence of our president. The long-time silence of the president really precipitated this act from these people because we must deal with crime as it comes. And if we are dealing with crime as it comes, we must be natural about it. We must be sincere about it without nepotism, without fear of religion or whatever the case may be. Looking at Ahmed Gumi, many people have cried out that why hasn't the DSS invited Ahmed Gumi when he made some comments on few months back to the bandits that the military are there to kill only the Muslims. Such kind of statements, I think it should be invited or cautioned. That is one of the cries from the public. Now, looking at Sunday Igboho, people just feel that the government are, sometimes center-based. They don't want to caution everybody from all nooks and crannies, and they feel that the government is partial. But from my own perspective, I think, and I will advise the government, that they must attack this crime and this threat from all nooks and crannies in Nigeria, irrespective of our religion, tradition, and ethnic bias. Okay,
I'm going to go to Femi Lawson. Femi, the Yorubas have, my big question is, because Sunday Igboho seems to be speaking for the Yoruba nation, as they call it, or the agitation for the Yoruba nation. How many Yoruba people really back Sunday Igboho and his agitation? How many of them actually approve of what he's doing?
You see, the question, the idea here is, see, that we have characters like Sunday Igboho and the like today, or others who may even still emerge, demanding for similar, making similar demands like Sunday Igboho, only tells you one thing. It is a direct, result of the failure of government. Whether anybody likes it or not, the Nigerian state today is failing to the extent that citizens are beginning to see the need for them to belong to their own micro-ethnic, segment of the country before they can survive. I will not want to totally agree that Sunday Igboho represents the aspiration of the entire Yoruba people. I'm a Yoruba man, but I've never subscribed, to the secession agitation as a pro-restructuring person. But that nonetheless, whatever Sunday Igboho is doing today, by calling for a Yoruba nation, by demanding for self-determination, is a legitimate action. Self-determination all over the world is not crime, especially when such demands are made without resorting to violence. And if you look at the way Sunday Igboho and his group have been conducting themselves since they started this agitation, their rallies have been peaceful, their demands have been peaceful. It is now that the Nigerian state is deliberately trying to infuse violence into the movement. And it is very unfortunate.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Mr. Lawson. Did you just say that the Nigerian state is infusing violence? You're saying that Sunday Igboho is peaceful, but that the government is making him look like someone who is violent?
Yes, that is what the Nigerian government is doing by the recent action of the government, by which resulted into the invasion of the residence of Mr. Sunday Igboho without any search warrant or prior invitation or whatsoever, in a manner that makes the Nigerian government irresponsible. If you look at the scenes from that invasion, you come to agree that the government has an agenda to instigate violence. And that is what has led to what we have witnessed. Because before yesterday, I am not sure there has been a time that those group of people, demanding for Yoruba nation have been involved in any form of violence. Or we have witnessed their rallies in Ekiti, Ondo, Osun and the like.
Okay.
But why, at the point that they have intention of organizing another such similar rally, that the Nigerian government has taken violence, to the home of one of their leaders? Like I said, I am not a pro-secession person, but I think it is within the right of those who are demanding, for secession to do so in every legitimate manner without resorting to violence.
Okay. Let me come to you, Nelson Ekujimi. I did ask this question to Mr. Lawson, but I'm going to ask you again. What Sunday Igboho is agitating for, do you think that the Yoruba people want it? Are you sure that the Yoruba people want to be seceded or want to secede from Nigeria? Do you think that the Yoruba people want to go their own way, just as certain people who support IPOB are saying that they want to go their own way?
Thank you very much. Good evening to our esteemed viewers. The truth of the matter is that Sunday Igboho, or whatever you call him, and his party represent Sunday Igboho and what he stands for. Sunday Igboho does not in any way represent the Yoruba people, of which I am one. We have never, at any point in time, come together and decided that Sunday Igboho should lead the Yoruba cause. The Yoruba cause is fully protected within the geographical entity called Nigeria. Today, we have elected representatives of the Yoruba people in the National Assembly. We have them in the governor's office. We have them all over the elected institutions of our democratic system. So if Sunday Igboho is agitating, I believe people who are encouraging him should educate him on the fact that we run a constitutional democracy.
I want to believe you. I want to believe you, and I know that the Yorubas are very many. I mean, it's not just a handful of people, but the number of people that show up for these, meetings that he has and these, forums, it's incredible. The number of people that come out to cheer him, to support him, that seem to buy into his logic or his idea. It's a departure from what you and Mr. Lawson have been saying. There are people who actually stand by him. And if, let's set aside Sunday Igboho, the Are Ona Kakanfo is also somewhat in support of this agitation. And he's always continuously been in the news talking about the agitation for a Yoruba nation. So I'm trying to understand, are these people not people that represent the Yoruba people in Nigeria?
Well, the truth of the matter, like I told you, is that the Yorubas are about 200 million plus. And I want you to do a survey.
Did you say 200 million?
Whether that
200 million is about all of Nigeria, sir.
The Yorubas.
Mr. Kujimi, can you hear me? Well, quickly, Dickson, let's just wrap up with you because we cannot hear Kujimi. So in closing, many have speculated as to what, if the DSS were to, arrest Sunday Igboho, what will be his charge?
Hello? Hello, who's talking?
Dickson, can you hear me? Unfortunately, we have lost them again, but thank you all for staying with us on the show. It's been Plus Politics. I am Mariana Cohn. We'll see you next week on a brand new show. Have a good evening.